Hi, my name is Dawn and I am a home cook, making all the mistakes so you don't have to. Today I'm here with 8 tips to help you avoid cooking chaos. And I've got a bonus one too. Let's go. So what made it to the #1 spot, you ask? You must get a scale. Yes. Why? Because this saves you from mess. You use less utensils because you can weigh everything in your mixing bowl or your pan or your pot or whatever you're doing. It's way more accurate. So if you're baking, accuracy is king, you know that. But even when you're cooking, it helps to be more accurate. Less mess because you've got less things to clean up. That is important to me. I don't want to be cleaning dishes. And they're not expensive. I got mine at Canadian Tire for $15 on sale. Amazon has them under $20. There is no excuse. You must get yourself a scale. Coming in at the #2 spot is pull out all your food before you start cooking. Yes, I know we want to get cooking. I want to get cooking too. However, how many times, even on things you make all the time, routine ingredients you have in your house all the time, you suddenly don't have? I don't know, someone drank all the milk. I used the last onion. I forgot to get more. So, pull out all your food. Also, not only is it that you might not have enough, but you won't forget to use it. I one time put a carrot cake in the oven without the carrots, and then I saw them. So I could quickly whip my pan out, stir in those carrots, and I was good to go. So that is a really helpful tip. I know you've read this, I know you know it's right, but I'm telling you it really works. Also, I'm not saying you have to measure everything out like you're running a cooking show, but at least have a glance at what you've got. It calls for a cup of flour. Do you have a cup of flour in that bag? Always good to look. And if you don't, you can figure out your substitutions now before you're in the heat of the cooking and everything's going crazy and you're all of a sudden going, I don't have whatever it is, what am I gonna do? You can sort it out before you get started. I say this is really helping to avoid all that kitchen chaos. In the #3 spot, we have something very similar, but this time it is pull out all the utensils. Very similar, but I'm saying you gotta pull them out anyway, so why not pull them out in advance? Then you can find out, oh, my beaters are in the dishwasher all goopy and I gotta wash them, instead of right when you need to use them. Same thing, you can make sure everything's available, clean, and you're not reaching for something in the heat of the cooking and you find you don't know where it is. It's in your mystery jumble of utensil drawers. I think this is really important, and as I said, you're pulling it out anyway, so why not pull it out in advance? You got it there, and you don't have to worry about that utensil that you don't have right when you need it when you're cooking. In the #4 spot, we have read through the recipe, and I'm talking about recipes you know by heart. If you pull out a recipe, I say you walk through it, read through it, and pull out every single utensil. We've already pulled out all the utensils, but as you're reading, there may be utensils you forgot you need for it, or that are buried in the text of the recipe. Even ones that you make all the time, those ones, I always forget, oh, I need pot holders because something is going to be hot. Or you can find ingredients that are not listed in the ingredients list, like water or salt and pepper or other ingredients. I'm always surprised. And so you can get yourself prepared and avoid that last minute scramble when something's really hot, you need to add water and you don't have it and the recipe's calling for it and you're trying to find your measuring cup, and yeah, you know what I mean. But also by walking through it, you can see all the various steps, and I'm going to tell you that there are ways to change up the recipe to make it a lot easier to work through. In our #5 spot is one of my favorites. Everyone who knows me knows this. Use technology. You have Alexa in your house, you use her. You get her to be your timer. You can name timers. You can have multiple timers. I also use the Paprika app for all my recipes, or most of them. I have some cookbooks, but if I can find a recipe online and upload it to my Paprika app, I will use it because there are great benefits to doing it. It's got built-in timers. It can help me with my grocery list, and stay tuned for an upcoming video on how to use all the great features of the Paprika app. Unpaid, unsponsored, I just love it. You can use Siri. She's not as good, I think, but use what you've got. But definitely don't wing things. Use those technologies. They'll really help you. And I just find it makes it more fun. Another great use of technology is to set reminders for yourself, like start dinner or go do this or that you need to do. I find that super handy because when you get busy, next thing you know, holy smokes, it's time for dinner and I was supposed to have turned on the oven 2 hours ago. So there you go. Those are some tech ideas that I have, quick and easy to help us all survive some kitchen chaos. In my number 6 spot is write down changes in your cookbook or in your app if you're using the Paprika app. Your cookbooks do not belong to the library. They are yours, so you should write changes in it. I just told you to use a scale, so if your recipe doesn't have grams, and I'm telling you, use grams, then you should handwrite it right in your cookbook. If you change something around, if something takes longer to cook, you don't like an ingredient, you found a better substitution, all your great ideas and customizations that make the recipe great for yourself, you need to write that down because you might forget and then you're halfway through and go, oh yeah, I don't like doing that. But it's too late. You've passed that point in the recipe. Even recipes, again, we use all the time. Sometimes we're busy, we've got stuff going on. So it's best to write it down. And your cookbooks, I don't know, I think they become more precious when you've got your handwritten notes. I've also got recipes I've just crossed out and said, never make this again, so that I don't in the future forget and get fooled and make that recipe again. But most of the time the recipes are good, but you tweak them your way. Put in those changes so you've got them saved speedier for yourself next time. Coming in at our number 7 spot, I think you will see there's a theme here, but use a conversion chart so you can use your scale and you can change up your recipes. So I have in the door of my cupboard, I'm sure I'm putting a picture here somewhere, and it shows me all my commonly used ingredients. This one I think came from Cooks Illustrated, but there's lots of them online. Find one for the ingredients that you use. And it will make it a lot faster. You're not going to have to be asking technology, Googling, doing whatever, but do those things if you don't have it. But to me, put it on the inside of your cupboard where you're doing all your cooking, and it's hidden away, but it's there for you whenever you need it. It is a big time saver, and you'll find that you'll get using your scale much more faster. So use a conversion chart. And coming in at the number 8 spot, as you've read through your recipe, right? We're all doing that now. You will see often that the recipe talks about your protein, your raw proteins, right up front, and you get going because we want to get cooking. We got to get the dinner on the table. Whatever the reason is, we've got short of time. So we see that and we get going, and then we're like, oh my goodness, my knife, my cutting board, my counter, everything is now dirty, and I got to cut all these veggies, herbs, whatever else is in our recipe. Read through the recipe, do all the veggies first, and do your protein last. Then you can just throw your cutting board right into the dishwasher, and you're going to run your dishwasher every night because that is another great thing to do, which is not in my tips, but there's a tip. And it really will save you a lot of time. It's more hygienic, and I think you'll find that it is a big time saver and mentally a big time saver. So do that. Read through, protein last. And I've got a bonus tip because it's kind of a little tip, but I'm telling you this works. Keep a cup or glass of water right near your cooking. Why? Because how many times do you have some part of your onions, your garlic, your something is starting to burn? And there's a little bit of panic or oh crap, and you're pulling it off or whatever you're doing. All you have to do is put in a few drops of water and all will be saved. And if you have to go to your sink, or for me, my fridge is right behind my cooktop, or my sink is right there, but I find by the time I get a glass, fill it with water, and get over there, the burning just has continued. And maybe you've been past the point that I really am happy with. So I'm telling you, if you have a cup of water right beside it, use it. Hey, if you don't need it, drink it. Hydration, isn't that always good for us? But yes, I think this is a great little bonus tip that has saved me more times. So there you go. There are my 9 tips for avoiding kitchen chaos. I hope they help. Do you have tips? Leave them down below. What do you think of the tips? Got some ideas? Love to get your feedback. Stay tuned for more videos coming up that give you more help in your kitchen, helping you avoid all that kitchen chaos.